I'm Anna Garliff, Communications Specialist for the Oldman Watershed Council. What happens on the land affects the water, and that's why we're going to look at Alberta's billion-dollar-a-year industry, potatoes. Is this what's on your shopping list too? In collaboration with the Potato Growers of Alberta, the Oldman Watershed Council set out to answer your pressing consumer concerns. Let's look at the first one. GMO'd potatoes? Not if you buy Alberta potatoes. No GMO in your potato. Be sure you pay attention to where your food is coming from when you buy your groceries. Pesticides, herbicides, fungicides? Alberta potatoes meet, and in many cases exceed, the high standards set out by Health Canada. Why do they exceed them? 80% of our crop gets exported internationally, and much goes to Asian markets. Japan's import rules are so stringent that they are one of the highest benchmarks in the world. Alberta potatoes pass with flying colors. So why do farmers spray? Do you remember the stories of the terrible Irish potato famine? That crop disease and others still plague farmers around the world. With so much of our economy dependent on agriculture, none of us can afford to have the crops wither and die. Late blight spores and other diseases can and will attack every single crop in the fields. So if farmers didn't spray, we wouldn't just have no potatoes or tomatoes. We'd have no peppers, petunias, or pasta. There's more influence you can have. Surveys show that people claim these three things are priorities for them when buying groceries: no preservatives or additives, no chemicals, and high-quality ingredients. Yet sales indicate that really, it's all about taste and convenience. Potato growers don't get to choose what they grow. You do. Farmers grow what they can get paid for. The fast food industry is largely dictating what goes into our fields and what the water withdrawn from the Oldman River is being used for. We're buying French fries and potato chips. It's easy to feel powerless as a consumer, but actually, we vote with our wallets. Only 5% of our Alberta crop is fresh table potatoes, with seed potatoes making up another 19%. The majority is made into French fries and potato chips. Of the more than 100 varieties grown in Alberta, there are basically only three that dominate: Russet Burbank, Ranger Russet, and Shepherdie. The balance is made up of chip and fresh varieties. Chefs are putting serious effort into sourcing more local food, exploring a wider range of varieties, and purchasing grower direct. It's fresher, has a smaller environmental footprint, supports the economy, and creates jobs. But growing potatoes isn't just an agroeconomic complex. We are the caretakers of those downstream. The Oldman River joins the Bow east of Taber to form the South Saskatchewan.
That 50% of our water flows past us and feeds the rivers through Saskatchewan, Manitoba. Not only for Saskatchewan, Manitoba, but it keeps our rivers high enough to keep the fish and the wildlife sustainable. So do we need to produce food at the expense of everything? And we say no, it's not. Again, we did learn some things about how much water do we actually need. And we found that we actually use less than we thought we had to have. The population continues to grow across the world. We have to share more. We have to produce more food with less water for more people.
We are understanding more and more how precious and how finite our water supply is, and how prairie ecosystems preserve and protect us. So while we are producing increasing quantities of food, we need to remember that two natural systems are of particular importance: wetlands and grasslands. Wetlands act as huge sponges, mitigating the effects of both drought and floods. The fewer we have, the more vulnerable we are to climate change. Native grasslands, which are disappearing at an alarming rate, are powerful water sequestration systems and carbon sinks.
We're a group that work very closely together. We're a small organization in a big scope of things, but I think we work very, very closely together, all with our eyes on the same goal, and that is to produce the best quality food, at the best price that the consumer can afford, and yet taking care of the environment that we live in.
To learn more, join the Potato Growers of Alberta at Open Farm Days and become a member of the Old Man Watershed Council. We are all downstream. Thank you for watching.